Very recently, Sakurai went on to receive the Art Encouragement Award from Japan's Agency for Cultural Affairs, a rare honor for a video game creator, but it wasn't thanks to Kirby or even Smash Bros. Rather, his YouTube channel on creating games. And this award highlights Sakurai's behind-the-scenes impact on the gaming industry as a whole. After receiving the award, he shared his thoughts on the current state of game development, specifically in Japan, encouraging developers not only to embrace their own culture when making games, but to move away from Americanizing their games and to not pander only to Western audiences. Because, in his words, Japanese game lovers aren't looking for such things. Essentially saying the market has changed and that's not really a factor in today's landscape anymore. Make games the way you like and have people who can accept them enjoy them, he says. And just 2 weeks later, Sakurai went on to receive another big award, this one being the Lifetime Achievement Award, given to him for his long-term contributions to the industry. And after receiving this award, he touched on how drastically the gaming industry might change in just a year, noting AI as an example of something that's rapidly improved within such a short time. He brings up the cost of production and whether it can be recouped, because the content within games are growing, requiring much more time and manpower. Yet the pricing of games remains around 10,000 yen or $70. And as we know, prices have been adjusting for bigger games with more content. Though he doesn't believe this issue will persist for long, but at the very end of the interview he mentions one very interesting thing, that he's putting all of his time and energy into one more game. He didn't specify which game this was, and he left it at that, but to be fair, this interview did air just shortly before the Switch 2's Direct, so it's likely he was talking about Air Riders here. And so that could be confirmation that he's done after that. But officially, we don't know if he is retiring after Kirby Air Riders, and it almost feels as if there's still a lot more in store for the future of not only Mr. Sakurai, but also his relationship with Nintendo and the Switch 2. And long before Air Riders, the last series he's directed from 2014 onwards, up until now, has been nothing but Smash. And before that, in 2012, it was Kid Icarus. So if Air Riders is his last game, it would make a lot of sense seeing as he hasn't worked on Air Ride since 2003, and it would make for a bittersweet send-off. It is Kirby, and much like his colleagues handing off their torches, it could also be time for Sakurai to do the same and step away from creating games altogether, letting someone else continue his legacy. But what do you guys think? With Sakurai finishing Kirby Air Riders, do you think he's finally ready to retire, or do you think there's something more to come after this? Links to his interviews are in the description if you'd like to read more on the topic. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like these kinds of videos, it would mean the world if you could subscribe and hit that notification. Until next time, bye!